Floods are not new to South Africa. Heavy rainfall is not new. Seasonal weather patterns are not new. What continues to shock us is not the rain, but the damage, the displacement, and the loss of life that follows every single time. Recent floods caused serious damage in parts of Mpumalanga and Limpopo. Homes were damaged or destroyed. Roads and bridges collapsed. Schools and clinics were affected. Thousands of people were displaced and lives were lost. This is not an exaggeration. This is the reality South Africans are living with. And the most painful truth is this: much of this damage was preventable. This conversation is not about blaming the weather. It is about what government must implement urgently and consistently so that floods stop becoming national emergencies. Because a capable state does not panic when it rains, a capable state prepares. Flood disasters do not begin when water overflows. They begin when warning systems fail. They begin when infrastructure is neglected. They begin when planning ignores risk. When floods happen, they simply expose what was already weak. If government wants to protect lives, livelihoods, and the economy, there are national solutions that must be implemented without delay. The first national solution is a reliable early warning system that reaches people directly. South Africa already has weather data. The problem is not information, the problem is delivery. Too many people in flood-prone areas receive warnings late or not at all. Others receive vague alerts without clear instructions. Some only realize the danger when water is already inside their homes. A warning that arrives late is not protection. It is information for survivors. Government must implement a single national emergency alert system that sends direct SMS warnings to all phones in high-risk areas. This system must work on basic phones, not only smartphones. It must use local languages. And it must provide clear instructions, not general statements. This system must not rely on social media. It must be supported by community radio interruptions and local disaster structures activating alerts at ward level. If the poorest and most rural residents do not receive warnings in time, then the system has failed its purpose. The second national solution is treating stormwater, drainage, and river systems as life-saving infrastructure. Flood water does not destroy strong infrastructure. It finds neglected infrastructure. Blocked drains, damaged culverts, and weak bridges made flooding worse in many affected areas. These failures are not acts of nature, they are maintenance failures. Government must enforce regular stormwater and drainage maintenance schedules. Bridges, river crossings, and flood-prone roads must be inspected routinely. Maintenance budgets must be protected and prioritized before disaster season. Drain cleaning is not cosmetic work. It is disaster prevention. Fixing infrastructure before floods saves lives. Rebuilding infrastructure after floods only proves that prevention was ignored. The third national solution is ending unsafe settlement planning while protecting dignity. One of the most serious failures exposed by floods is poor land use planning. People are allowed to live in floodplains, wetlands, and riverbanks. Then, when floods occur, government responds with emergency relief instead of prevention. This approach is not sustainable. Government must use updated flood risk maps to guide housing approvals, land allocation, and infrastructure investment. High-risk areas must be protected from new development. But this must be done humanely. Relocation cannot mean eviction without alternatives. It must include safe land, proper housing, access to transport, schools, clinics, and economic opportunities. People do not resist relocation because they are unreasonable. They resist because relocation often removes stability and dignity. Preparedness respects people's reality. The fourth national solution is permanent, prepared emergency shelters. Floods should not force government to search for venues during emergencies. Emergency shelters must already be identified, equipped, and managed. Every district must have shelters that are accessible, safe, and functional. These shelters must have clean water, sanitation, electricity, food supplies, and medical support. Emergency shelters should protect dignity, not increase trauma. Preparedness means readiness before disaster strikes, not improvisation during crisis. The fifth national solution is strengthening local disaster response capacity. Municipalities are the first responders during floods, yet many lack trained teams, equipment, and clear leadership structures. Government must ensure that every municipality has a properly resourced disaster management unit. Personnel must be trained. Emergency drills must be conducted regularly. Command structures must be clear before emergencies occur. Coordination between municipal disaster units, police, emergency medical services, fire services, and provincial support must be established in advance. In emergencies, confusion costs time, and time costs lives. The sixth national solution is rebuilding damaged infrastructure with climate resilience in mind. Floods damaged roads, bridges, schools, clinics, and water systems in Mpumalanga and Limpopo. Rebuilding weak infrastructure guarantees that the same damage will happen again. Infrastructure must be designed for future climate conditions, not past weather patterns. Bridges must be stronger. Roads must be better drained. Water and sanitation systems must be protected. If the same road collapses every rainy season, the problem is not rain. The problem is design and planning. The final national solution is accountability. After every disaster, investigations are promised. But without visible change, those promises lose meaning. Government must produce public post-disaster reports that explain what failed, why it failed, and what will change before the next rainy season. Communities deserve answers. Preparedness without accountability is performance, not governance. South Africa cannot stop floods, but South Africa can stop floods from becoming disasters. Preparedness is not fear. Preparedness is leadership. It is warning people early, maintaining infrastructure properly, planning settlements responsibly, strengthening local response, building infrastructure that lasts. Floods will happen again. That is reality. The question is whether government will continue reacting after damage is done, or finally implement national solutions that protect lives, livelihoods, and communities. If you believe South Africa needs solutions, not excuses, please like this video so it can reach more people. Subscribe to the National Solutions channel for honest conversations about how we fix our country. Share this video with community leaders, parents, and anyone living in flood-prone areas. And in the comments, answer this honestly. What is the one thing government must fix in your community before the next flood? Thank you for watching.